Inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. I was up in Cape Cod for the last couple of weeks, and while I was there, the man who wrote that, his name is Dave Mallet, was in a concert in a local church hall. And my God, what a beautiful poet he is. If you can ever lay hands on his records, Dave Mallet, get them. Beautiful songs. We're going to record a few songs together, he and I, next month. He's coming over. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain and sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. And inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. An old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feather thief up there. And inch by inch, go to make this garden. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Once more, and inch by inch and row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Till the rain comes a tumbling down. Okay, let's see what we'll do. Let's see what we'll do. Okay, are there any other requests? I'll do that. Yeah? We'll do them all. To hell with tomorrow. I want to sing this one first because we were trying to get it last night. We're doing a bit of filming here. So if you're sitting with somebody you're not supposed to be sitting with here tonight, we're making the documentary film, so you better move. Or you're in deep, deep doo-doo. We sang this last night and I forgot the bloody verse. I'll try not to forget it tonight. A song about the revolution of 1916. We had been under British rule for many centuries, as you probably know. They came over, they took over our country, they stationed soldiers all over the country. They took our land, religion, language, then they tried to exterminate us. When we fought back with sods of turf and stones, what were we called? Terrorists, my friend, terrorists. It was down the glen one Easter morn, to a city fair rode I, when Ireland's lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No pipes did hum and no battle drum did sound its dread tattoo, but the Angelus bell o'er the Liffey swell rang out in the foggy dew. Right proudly high over Dublin town they hung out the flag of war. It was better to die 'neath an Irish sky than at Suvla or Soudel Bar. And from the plains of Royal Meath strong men came hurrying through, while Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns sailed in from the foggy dew. It was England bade our wild geese go, that small nations might be free, but their lonely graves are by Suvla's waves on the fringe of the grey North Sea. But had they died by Pierce's side, or fought with James Connolly so true, their graves we'd keep where the Fenians sleep, 'neath the hills of the foggy dew. Oh, the bravest fell, and the sullen bell rang mournfully and clear for those who died on that Easter tide in the springing of the year. And the world did gaze in deep amaze at those fearless men and true, who bore the fight that freedom's light might shine through the foggy dew. They went to fight for a cause they knew nothing about, manipulated by the powers that be. Countless thousands of them died. Let me take you to a little graveyard in France, the north of France. Through the small white crosses, until we come to one that says, Private William McBride died 1915, aged 19. It's a hot day. I'm gonna sit and talk to him. How do you do, Private William McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside, and I'll rest for a while in the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. I see by your gravestone you were only 19 when you joined the dead heroes in 1915. Well, I hope you died quick, and I hope you died lean. Our young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? And did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined. And though you died back in 1915, to some faithful heart, are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enshrined forever behind a glass frame in an old photograph, torn and tattered and stained and fading to yellow in a bound leather frame? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Well, the sun's shining now on these green fields of France. A warm wind blows gently and the red poppies dance. The trenches have vanished under the plough. No gas and no barbed wire, no guns firing now. But here in this graveyard, it is still no man's land. The countless white crosses in mute witness stand to man's blind indifference to his fellow man. To a whole generation butchered and damned, did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? And I can't help but wonder now, Willie McBride, do all those who lie here know why they died? Did you really believe them when they told you the cause? Did you really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the suffering, the sorrow, the glory, the pain, the killing, the dying, it was all done in vain for young Willie McBride. It's all happened again. And again, and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they sound the five lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er you as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Or did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? When will we ever learn? When will we ever learn? I met Mary McAleese, our president, yesterday, our Irish president, Mary McAleese. She's a woman. A woman. I said to her, Mary, I always talk to her like this. Hiya, Mary, how are you doing? I said, you've been 6 years in office. We don't know what's holding you up. 6 years in office and you haven't invaded anyone yet. What's wrong with you? I said, Mary, for God's sake, don't you know that Saudi Arabia is ruled by tyrannical kings and sheiks and princes, and they got piles of oil, and they don't drink. Now, we're buying all this oil from them, but they're not buying any whiskey back. So I say, Mary, get out the army, get out the navy, get out the air force, all 432 men, and invade the buggers. Bomb the shit out of them. That's what I said to her. And she said, Liam, she said, calm down. Calm down. Now, I talked to George. And he said, you leave my good family friends, the Bin Ladens, alone over there. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden, in the morning Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snows. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone and he calls her name. Oh, let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The windmills swirl the winter in, she winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen, and the tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name, she makes his bed up, humming some old love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Oh, let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Can't hear you. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret, sing it out with us once. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. We're going on a cruise in January. We're going on a cruise of the Caribbean in January, and you're coming with us. Because you're such good singers, free cabins for all of you. It's called Irish Music Cruises. We're going to Tortola. We're going to Saint-Martin, or St. Martin, whichever you please. And a whole lot of other places. We did it last year. What a wonderful time we had. And it was such a funny reversal because Tommy Makem's sons, the Makem brothers, and myself got together under the title of a new group called the Makem Brothers and Liam Clancy. Robbie O'Connell, my nephew, is coming with us. Donald Clancy, my son, is coming with us. Aoife Clancy, my niece, is coming with us. Finbar Clancy, my nephew, is coming with us. Old Uncle Tom Cobley and all. And you better join up. Look it up on my website, liamclancy.com. And we sold out of the records that I was going to sign for you after the show tonight. And you're going to have to get in touch with me on the website. And Kevin is now the engineer in my recording studio, and he'll get them out to you post-haste.
cdbaby.com.
cdbaby.com. cdbaby.com. In the year of our Lord 1806, we set sail from the cold Quay of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. With an elegant craft, she was right fore and aft, and how the trade winds drove her. She had 23 masts, she stood several blasts. They called her the Irish. There was Barney McGee from the banks of the Lee. We had Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Johnny McGurk, who was scared stiff of work, and a chap from Westmeath named Malone. We had Slugger O'Toole, drunk as a rule, fighting Bill Tracy from Dover, and your man Mick McCann from the banks of the Bann was the skipper on the. We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags. We had 2 million barrels of bone. We had 3 million bales of all nanny goats' tails. We had 4 million barrels of stone. We had 5 million hogs, 6 million dogs, 7 million barrels of porter. We had 8 million sides of our blind horses' hides in the hold of the Irish. We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out, and our ship lost her way in a fog. And the whale of a crew was reduced down to 2, myself and the captain's old dog. The ship struck a rock, oh Lord, what a shock, nearly tumbled over, got 9 times around, cut. I said cut, and the poor old dog was drowned. I'm the last of the Irish over. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that you're some bunch of blackguards. Luke, the late Luke Kelly, the late great Luke Kelly, and myself were great pals. I met him first at a music festival down in Clare, and he had just come back from England and brought a batch of songs that nobody had ever heard before. They've since become part of the great Irish gathering of songs, including this Australian song called No Nay Never, No Nay Never No More. Now never no more will I ply the wall rover, now never no more, which is the way it was originally sung. Luke brought it back to Ireland. I met him in Milltown Malbay. I thought he was a bit rough and tough at the time. Big head of red hair. At closing time, the only place you could get a drink was in the hotel you were staying in. He wasn't staying in our hotel, so they wouldn't let him in. But we were into a wonderful session with Willie Clancy and Seamus Ennis and Nicholas Tobin and all the great old traditional players and singers. And I had to go out for a piddle. And I was standing against the urinal, minding my own business, looking around. And you know those little narrow windows they have over a urinal? Well, that was open to let a bit of ventilation go out. And I saw this big red head coming in through the window. And a pair of shoulders after it. And the next thing, out pops Luke Kelly. And he says, "How you head? I'm Luke Kelly." From then on, we became the best of friends. And we traveled all over Ireland together. My God, we did things that no one should speak about who knows their catechism. But he died, alas, at the age of, 45. And I was asked a couple of years back there by his brother, Jimmy, if I would come up on the anniversary of his death up to Glasnevin Cemetery in Dublin and gather with the family, say a few words to Lukey, sing a song for him. And I said, "Jimmy, unfortunately, I'm on tour at the time. But I'll tell you what, I'll write something for you to tell him for me." So I wrote this little piece, just called it Lukey. And Jimmy gave it to him at the graveside. "Luke, how glad I am that our paths crossed in that brief window of consciousness that is given to us between the two great mysteries. You came into my life through a window, through the men's room window at the Flacciole in Milltown, Malbay in 1964, in the Central Hotel. They wouldn't let you in the front door, Luke, because they said it was after hours and you weren't a resident. But it was really because they didn't want a Dublin Jackeen upsetting the session. Willie Clancy was there in the parlour, and Jimmy Ward, and the great Seamus Ennis, who shares this piece of ground with you now, forever. You startled us all that night, Luke, when you sang. You were no self-effacing rustic waiting to be coaxed to sing soft, sad love songs. You were as strident as a street in Cricklewood. You were as brash as a Dublin hackney driver. And you took delight in what you sang. Joy and anger mixed in a powerful blend. That was your hallmark, then as always. Joy in the act of singing. Anger in the words that spoke of injustice. You came from the mold of the great communists who knew that it was right to rail against the tyranny of class and privilege. Look at us now here, Luke, in this cemetery, a small huddle of the living amidst a vast throng of the generations that have passed before us, and coming fast behind, the generations waiting to be born. So what signifies, Luke? What signifies is that you fulfilled your destiny, that you did not stint in the giving of the talent that was uniquely yours. Had you been a blade of grass, you would have been very green and very tall and very pointed, because all things must be what they are to their fullness. Since we laid you down here, how many years ago now, Luke? You have been joined in the long silence by so many of those we knew, by Kieran Burke and Seamus Ennis and Joe Heaney and Willie Clancy, and by my own brothers, Paddy, Tom, Bobby. But are ye really silenced, Luke? No. No, and never will be. It's all preserved, isn't it, in reality as well as in memory. And when In the future, there are those who want to hear not the froth of fashion in the pop song of the month, but the timeless vision of the true story told. They will listen to you, Luke, you and your likes, if such there are. And even though we know all this with our heads, we still lament, as your song says, that no, nay, never, never no more will you play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never, look for you, no, nay, never, no more, when I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I've been a wild rover for many's a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I went into an alehouse where I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I can get any day. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never will I then out of me pocket I took sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskey and wines of the best, and the words that I said, sure, were only in jest. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. Never, no more. I'll go home to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they'll caress me as oft times before, and I never will play the wild rover on your own. No. No, and nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play a wild rover. No, never, no more. There's a hit of that tonight. We're coming to an end. We're going to do one more from you, for you, from you, have one from you. I was telling the people the other night, maybe you were here, that I spent about 15 years in Greenwich Village in New York. And my brothers and Tommy and myself, we were starting to make records. And we used to work out the songs at the back room of a place called the White Horse Tavern, a unique place. It's the place where Dylan Thomas, the great Welsh poet, had taken his last 36 drinks before he went into that. Do we have a problem here? I can sort it out. Where's that stick? We have the stick, okay. What a cast of characters were in the White Horse. I remember bringing young Bob Dylan. He was only a teenager still. He had just arrived in from Minnesota. Bringing him over to hear what the sessions were like in the village. I was 5 years older than him, so I seemed like the old man, you know. And he used to sit over in the corner and he'd pick up on the songs. And the following day I'd meet him and he would take us one of our songs like Brennan on the Moor. And I remember meeting him one morning. I was rushing off to a recording session and tried to catch a taxi, and he stopped me on the street. He said, "Hey, Liam, hey, man, I wrote a song last night to Brennan on the Moor. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? You want to hear it? It's only 27 verses, man. It's not going to take long." And I said, "I'd love to, Bobby, but could you cut it down a little bit, you know? Couldn't be done, man. It's too good." We cut it down for him later, and we sang it. It sounded great. It was called Ramblin' Gamblin' Willie. However, we're not going to do that. I'm going to do a song by another inhabitant of the back room of the White Horse. His name was Gene Raskin. He and his wife Francesca used to travel. We used to do the coffee houses and the folk clubs together. They were called Gene and Francesca. And Gene Raskin was a Russian background. And he took all these lovely Russian melodies and he made wonderful new songs from them. And this emanated from the back room of the White Horse. Most people think that it was written by Paul McCartney. As Paul McCartney picked up on it, he gave it to a young Welsh singer named Mary Hopkin, made it into a worldwide hit. Gene Raskin hated the version. He said, "A young girl singing an old man's song like that, it's a shame." But the villa in Spain wasn't a shame. It made him a very wealthy man. Once upon a time, there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all the great things we would do. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we'd choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, la, lie, lie, la, la, lie, 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 la, lie, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, la, lie, la, lie, la, la, lie, 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 la, la, lie. And then the busy years went rushing by us. We lost our starry notions on the way. And if by chance we'd meet outside the tavern, we'd smile at one another and we'd say, those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never we'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, la, lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, la, lie. But just tonight, I stood outside the tavern. Nothing seemed the way it used to be. In the glass, I saw a strange reflection. Was that lonely fellow really me? Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, la, lie. Then through the door I heard familiar laughter. I saw your face, I heard you call my name. Oh, my friend, we're older, but no wiser, for in our hearts the dreams are still the same. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we'd choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, lie, la, la, lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 lie. La 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 la. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Liam Clancy, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Evans. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the 25th anniversary of Milwaukee Irish Fest. How about one more?
Old age has yet his honor and his toil. Death closes all, but something ere the end, some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men who strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. So come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off and sitting well in order smite the sounding furrows. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the baths of all the western stars until I die. And though we are not now that strength that in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. What I'm asking ye in Tennyson's words is, have ye no homes or scattering to go to? D. We'll try it again. It's a lovely tune anyway, isn't it? Oh, all the money that e'er I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you. Oh, all the comrades that e'er I had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be with you. May we never die. Thank you. God bless. See you 25 years from now. Come on over to the scattering.